Welcome back to my shop, Tuber fans. I am going to host another episode of Mike Has No Clue What He's Doing. Anyways, this is a block of epoxy with pretty thick antler in it. I've been trying to turn an elk horn or elk antler duck call for a buddy of mine. I've turned a couple practice pieces here, and every time I get so close, I've got the same problem, the same issue reoccurring over and over again. And that issue is I get a lot of blow-by coming through the pores. You can see the pores up into that horn there. If I turn a little more to the light, you can see how porous that is. And so when you blow on it, and you got the actual piece in the end, it seems to blow by. So I'm going to attempt to turn it out of epoxy and then see if I can get it to work, and then I'll put a threaded cap on the end, because the other thing that my buddy, who's an avid hunter, really gets frustrated with is in the change of the weather, the ends of his duck calls seem to come apart. So I said, well, I think I could thread it, put it together threaded, so that's what we're going to do. Thread it, so we'll do most of the turning over on the jet, and then we'll come back here to the Powermatic and do the threading portion, because I am not a big fan of trying to thread on the jet, because the jet's so small as far as, or the speed's so fast as far as on the little guy there. I can only get it down to 500, and I'm not the best thread chaser at 500, so 500 RPMs that is. So we will get started here. I'll get you in position, maybe do a little bit of thread chasing, turn this down. I'm going to turn this down so there's absolutely no epoxy left on the exterior of it. I don't want to see the epoxy. The epoxy was really just to, as you can see, how much foam's there up on top, and that was sucking all the air out and forcing all of the epoxy up inside the actual antler itself, so that I could seal up a lot of that. So I tried using some pen hardener stuff, and I still couldn't get a good seal, so I went to the epoxy to give it a shot. So again, this is an episode of Mike Has No Clue What He's Doing. So welcome back to my shop. Here we go. Just made a little dovetail so I could chuck it up in the lathe safely. Here I've got the tailstock brought up, just touching it so that when I have it going here, I got some stability. It's running fairly smooth, well, fairly true. There's some bumps and stuff from when I was turning it. I'm not sure what tools I'm going to use, so probably use some carbide cutters, because they seem to cut this stuff well. Use my skew, but once I get it round, should be good. Got to get it round first, so. Just love this stuff, huh? Gets on everything. Okay. And you can see we got through, just barely got through in there, and then we're right at it over here. So that's still epoxy there. I'm going to drill that out with that 5/8 inch drill bit. We may not have enough of a drill bit here. I have to put the extension on, I'm guessing. So we're going to do that real quick. Got a drill bit extender right here. We'll just extend that out. Don't normally use it for these small drill bits. partially because that might be bigger than 5/8, so we better check that quick, huh? Yeah, that's bigger than 5/8. So that won't do us any good to put the extender on there. So what I think we'll do is we'll drill about 3/4 halfway down, flip it over, do the other side. Clamp that down. We're going to drill from this side first while we got center found. Using the tailstock just to kind of hold it in place so I can clamp it. Tailstock back. Pop out the live center. Get my chuck, my Jacobs chuck back in there. Tell you, that epoxy gets everywhere. Five-eighths drill bit. And the lathe off. It's much cleaner on the inside of that as well. I like that. I think that's going to work a lot better than what I had going before. So I'm going to take the I think I'm going to take the chuck off actually, and I'm going to put the end that I just drilled in here. That'll keep it centered, but with just enough ability to still turn it with some friction. It'll still turn it so that I can drill out the other side and hopefully line up that bore a little bit better in the process. I think that'll work. And then we'll be able to epoxy on a piece of Cocobolo on the end after that and thread that, and yeah, I think this is going to work. I think using the epoxy was a good choice, or the casting resin's what I really used. Same casting resin I've used in other videos. It's nice and thin. It penetrates really well, but yet it's hard enough to turn and seals like a regular resin. So again, put wrong end. Put that in there. Line up the drill bit in the center hole on this side. So then, what my thoughts are, and we'll see if it works, is as I turn this on, like right now I can stop it with my fingers real easy, but as I start to apply a little pressure with the drill bit, it should cut, and there it goes, cutting. Just enough pressure to cut. And that should keep it centered enough so I should match those holes up almost perfectly. At least that's my hope. Okay, I'm at the end of my quill, so I gotta back up the quill here. Little Jet Mini doesn't have much of a quill. Alright. And there I went through. So now we'll just back that out. looks like I'm pushing a plug here. I'll go back in a little bit here. Let's see if I can push that plug just a little more, I guess. Yeah, it's just pushing that plug. So I'm gonna have to use a rod to push that plug all the way out. So it broke free, but there's just a little bit of a plug in there. Just grab that, push it, and there's that plug. See that plug coming out right there? Bloop. There's a little wafer there. No big deal. All gone. Alright. And I am very, very pleased with that. You cannot see hardly a mark inside there where the two holes lined up. And that's what I was hoping for. And it's a nice smooth interior. Using that, it really helped. Nice smooth interior. Looks like it's all closed off. So I should be able to get a good sound out of the duck call now. Change back to a live center. Now I don't have one of those fancy tin chucks that Carl Jacobs has, and he made for his video or for his duck calls, because I don't make a lot of duck calls. But I got a buddy who's a duck hunter, and he asked for it. He requested it, so we're gonna give this a shot. I think once I get it threaded, one end threaded, I'll be fine. I'll be able to get that. Get it just like I want it anyway. So here we go. We're gonna nice clean ends, minus that. Nice clean ends both sides. So we're good to go. Now we'll get that done. Most of the pores are filled, but you can still see some of the pores are still open, which is kind of disappointing. So the epoxy didn't work as well as I thought it would. The pores on this side are sealed much better, so maybe I'll use, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if I can get it to work. That's the big test. Seeing if I can get it to work. But like I said, I tried using some cactus juice for taking care of pen blanks, funky pen blanks. I couldn't get that to work as well as I'd have liked. So then I went to the casting resin, the penetrating casting resin from, and that seems to work better than the other stuff. So we'll just see. We'll give it a shot. I think I'll shape this up how I want it. Real quick, while I have it between centers, I'll just shape it quick on the exterior, kind of give it a little duck call shape. Make an open bell here, I guess. I'm not sure. Like I said, I don't make a lot of duck calls.